Hi, everyone, and welcome to this info session for a brand new granting program called Arts Vision Grants. My name is Andy Vick. I'm the Executive Director of the Cultural Office of the Pikes Peak Region. We are your local arts agency, and we're very pleased to be leading this initiative along with our partners at the Pikes Peak Community Foundation and the Fund for the Arts, so that we can bring you this really new and innovative grant opportunity for our creative community. So a little bit of background. Last year, the Cultural Office worked with the B. Vredenberg Foundation to help create a new 10-year cultural plan for our creative community. We did this in conjunction also with a 24-person steering committee, lots of input from the community. And at the end of the day, last October, we released Arts Vision 2030, which is, as I said, the new cultural plan for the Pikes Peak region. And it's basically a roadmap, a blueprint to help our creative community advance and grow over the course of the next 10 years. When we initially conceived of Arts Vision 2030, we had always hoped that we would be able to find some funding to put behind this new cultural plan so that we could encourage our community to actually embrace the declarations and ideas within the plan and ultimately to move the plan forward. It's everyone's plan. It's not the Cultural Office's plan. It's our creative community's plan. So we want everyone to feel some ownership, and we would really love it for everyone to get involved and to help advance the ideas and concepts that are in the plan. So we have partnered with the Community Foundation over the past couple of years to do other grant-making programs. And when COVID happened, those programs were put on pause for obvious reasons. And so we sort of banked up some of those resources that the Fund for the Arts was able to provide to the community and aggregated them together. And so now we have a pot of money that totals $50,000 that we hope to re-grant through the Cultural Office with support from Relevant Project Studio. And you'll talk to Angela Seals in just a moment, or you'll hear from her to explain more of the details of the process. But we're really excited to be able to offer this money to our creative community and encourage the community to embrace the ideas and concepts within the cultural plan, and then to use these dollars through this grant-making program to help come up with new programming, new activities, new ideas, new concepts that are in alignment with Arts Vision 2030, and that it will allow Arts Vision 2030 really to come to life. And that's what these Arts Vision grants are all about. The Cultural Office is very pleased to be leading this initiative. We couldn't do it without the support from the Pikes Peak Community Foundation and the Fund for the Arts, which has been around for close to 20 years now, and they've been granting out lots of money into the community. But this program is more focused, and it's really all about aligning programs and activities with Arts Vision 2030. So you see the URL there on your screen. That's where the grant application and information exists. Grants are all due by July 8th. So you have almost a month to work on them and to put them together. It's not a very complicated application. It's really designed to make it as easy as possible for nonprofit cultural organizations, for-profit arts businesses, and individual artists within our two-county region, El Paso and Teller counties, to apply for funding. And then we have a jury panel that will use a predetermined rubric, which you can find from that URL as well. That will then, they will then determine which of those projects and activities are going to receive funding. So here to tell you a little bit more about the details of Arts Vision 2030 and the Arts Vision grants is a former colleague of mine, Angela Seals, who has gone off and started her own consulting firm, Relevant Project Studio. We're pleased to be working with Angela on this project, and I'm going to turn it over to her so she can tell you a little bit more about the details and nuances of this exciting new grant program.
Thanks so much, Andy. And I am really pleased to be working through Relevant Project Studio with the Cultural Office for this important project to bring to life our new 10-year cultural plan. I'm going to take you quickly through the outline of how Arts Vision grants will work. Sorry, one moment. There we go. That's the beginning. So the first and most important point we want to make sure that you remember is eligibility. This is such an important and special grant program because it includes not just arts nonprofits, but arts-focused creative businesses and individual artists. And applicants must be based in El Paso or Teller counties of Colorado, proposing projects that take place in those two counties in order to be eligible for an Arts Vision grant. You can partner up, and we encourage you to do that if that would be best for your project. But there does need to be one lead applicant, and that lead applicant must be eligible under this criteria, and they'll be the ones who submit the application. If you have questions about eligibility, you can reach out to info@culturaloffice.org, and they and we will be happy to talk with you more. We know there's a lot of gray area in the creative sector, but ideally, what we want you to grasp is that this is really for the creative community, for arts-focused nonprofits, businesses, and individual artists. That's the intention of the Fund for the Arts. If this project is to move forward in future years, you would need to take 1 year off before applying again. Arts Vision grants will be project grants that support programs and projects that bring to life the Arts Vision 2030 cultural plan, which was stewarded by both the Cultural Office and B. Vredenberg Foundation, as Andy said, in 2021 and released in Arts Month 2021. So there are 4 criteria that your projects will need to meet. They'll need to be advancing the declarations and opportunities within the cultural plan. They need to be artistically excellent. They need to be new for our community and feasible for the applicant to successfully achieve. Those 4 points are really what you should focus on when you're deciding what project to apply for. And there are 5 narrative questions on the application, or like essay questions, and 4 of the 5 are directly addressing these 4 criteria. So it's very straightforward. We also share with you the criteria exactly as the jury, the funding jury, will use it to weight and to select what projects are funded. And you'll see here those 4 criteria: advancing the cultural plan, artistic excellence, originality, and feasibility, and exactly how we define those, and the percentage of the total score that each applicant will receive in its weighted percentages is right there. This is all on the program website so that you can print that off and kind of keep that in mind as you prepare your application. We even go so far as to defining exactly for the panel and for applicants, what does it look like at the extraordinary level of a score of 10 or a beginning and developing level on every one of those criteria. And so in this way, really being transparent, really being clear for both applicants and the jury about exactly what's intended from Arts Vision grants. Also want to mention that there is an extra point possible for projects that advance the first declaration of Arts Vision 2030. The first declaration of the cultural plan is just inclusive and equitable arts community. And you'll see here all of the declarations that you can download and print easily from the website. And every declaration in the cultural plan has a 2-page spread of opportunities, and these are tactics to advance that declaration. But just inclusive and equitable is the foundation of the whole plan. It's the opening, declaration, it doesn't have its own spread. It is woven through the entire cultural plan. And you'll see on a spread like this one, high quality arts education, that there is a little icon for equity, diversity, and inclusion focus. Because it is woven through the whole plan, it doesn't have its own spread of opportunities. Wanted to make sure that it was still weighted equally and strongly because it is the foundation of the plan. And so when you are putting together your application, there'll be a fifth essay question. Does your project advance this? And if so, we'll give you a chance to explain how, and that will be part of the scoring of the selection jury. As Andy mentioned at the beginning, the total funds being granted are $50,000. That is a special kind of 2-year allocation out of the Fund for the Arts, and we thank them and the Community Foundation for that invitation to the creative community. Requested amounts can vary this year, so you don't have to qualify for a certain amount that you will automatically receive. You can request exactly the amount that your project needs to be successful. For some people, that might be $750. For some people, that might be $7,500. Just depends on the project that you are requesting funds for. We expect a majority of the grants that are funded by Arts Vision grants this summer to fall in the range of $1,000 to $10,000. Again, that full pool is $50,000, and we do want to make that money be as impactful as possible. So we expect there to be a variety of grants that come out of this year's pool. The jury will include representatives from the 3 organizations that are both behind this program and behind the cultural plan: the Cultural Office of the Pikes Peak Region, Pikes Peak Community Foundation, and the B. Vredenberg Foundation. When you go to the website for this program, which is culturaloffice.org/arts-vision-grants, you will find all of these details that I'm going over and a little bit more to answer any questions that you have about how this program will work this summer. Remember that the deadline is Friday, July 8th at 12 o'clock noon, and that's when you have to click submit by 12 p.m. on your application. I'll talk a little bit about how to apply. When you're on this page and you scroll down past all the information about the program, you'll find a button that says click to apply. And that will take you to an application portal through Pikes Peak Community Foundation. It looks like this. You'll see all the available grants there currently through the foundation. And the top one is Arts Vision 2030. But the first thing you need to do is create a logon if you don't yet have one for the Community Foundation. If you do, then you can go ahead and log in to your account. Once you're in your dashboard, you'll see a button at the top bar. It looks just like this, your applicant dashboard, and you'll see the apply button. When you click apply, it'll give you a chance to choose Arts Vision 2030, and that will take you to the live application. We hope that you'll find that this application is really streamlined and not intimidating. It's basically going to ask you straightforward questions about who you are as an applicant, the basic details about your project, what you want to achieve, and how much money would help you do that. And then those 5 narrative questions that address the 4 criteria and the bonus point. Important dates for this program are that this is the application window right now. It opened on Friday, June 10th, and it runs through July 8th. This info session will be available to watch anytime on the program website through the deadline, which is July 8th at noon. All applicants will be notified of funding decisions in mid-August. And the funded activities of your project, this is important. The project needs to happen between September 1st of this year and August 31st of 2023. You'll find, again, all these information at the program webpage and culturaloffice.org. And if you have questions, you can submit an email to info@culturaloffice.org, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We've been joined in the info session by Mina Liebert from the Pikes Peak Community Foundation. So I'd like to bring her on screen and give her a chance to talk a little bit about the Community Foundation's approach to this program and to the Fund for the Arts. Hi, Mina.
Hi, Angela. Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for having us, and thank you to the partnership between Cultural Office of the Pikes Peak Region and Relevant Studios. So just sharing a little bit about the Community Foundation, we were formed in 1928, and there were a number of citizens that were really interested in keeping our community vibrant and thriving and created the Colorado Springs Community Trust. So from there, we wanted to build a permanent charitable endowment to improve quality of life in our community. And since then, the Community Foundation has granted over $125 million to help us realize having a sustainable community and vibrant quality of life for everybody. So over this last year, Community Foundation has served as a connector, and this is a perfect example of how we do that. So through the Philanthropy Collective, which is our new physical space, as well as programmatic space, it's powered by the Community Foundation. And we've been able to build a consortium of foundations, philanthropists, and individuals that have come together to explore the region's most critical and transformational issues and opportunities to see how philanthropy can help bring funders together. So we're here because we have so many investments and opportunities to work together. So our Fund for the Arts and the Pikes Peak Fund for the Arts, which we just renamed, is our partnership with Copper. And since its inception, we've awarded over $500,000 to enhance arts and culture in the Pikes Peak region. We are so proud of that because we believe that arts and culture are truly essential in the human experience and contribute significantly to the overall health and quality of life in our community. So by pooling our resources from multiple funding sources, it really allows for investment in projects that have significant impact and advance a diverse arts and culture environment and create truly a vibrant quality of life for all of our residents. So in 2018, we started partnering with the Cultural Office for the Pikes Peak region, and we created the Peak Arts Prize. And since then, this is a new evolution of that opportunity. So supporting local artists for projects is really the key crux of all of this work. And we are so excited to move this forward with Arts Vision 2030. And this is just, again, one opportunity that is really investing in our Pikes Peak region. We want to say that because this is an endowed fund, 10% of every donation that goes into the Pikes Peak Fund for the Arts is allocated to the endowment for the arts that was established in 2006 by the estate of Edith Elias, which is how we started this fund for the arts. So it's available. Anybody can contribute. There's a Give Now button on our donation page, which is at ppcf.org. Thanks so much, Angela, for letting us share a little bit about Pikes Peak Community Foundation and our partnership.
Thanks, Mina. We really appreciate all that the Fund for the Arts and Pikes Peak Community Foundation does for our community. This really is a very exciting opportunity. $50,000 can go a long way to making a lot of great arts and culture happen in this region. So for those of you who are interested in applying, a couple of quick suggestions and reminders. First of all, if you haven't checked out Arts Vision 2030, the cultural plan, that would be a great place to start. And you can find that at culturaloffice.org/artsvision2030. Read the plan, familiarize yourself with the declarations and opportunities in the plan, and then think about what kind of programming could I create as a cultural nonprofit, as a for-profit arts business, or as an individual artist living and working here in the Pikes Peak region, which we define as El Paso and Teller counties. Find a connection and then go to set up your account at the Community Foundation website. Once you have your account, you'll start working on your application. And then a reminder that all applications must be submitted by noon on July 8th. So you have, again, about almost a month to work on your applications. But the starting point really is to understand the priorities of Arts Vision 2030, work on your application, come up with your concept, submit it, and then our jurors will review. And hopefully you'll be among those individuals or organizations that receives funding this year. So again, I encourage you to reach out if you have any questions. info@culturaloffice.org is the best way to reach us. We will do our best to respond in a very timely way. We're hoping we have a lot of interest and enthusiasm behind this new grant opportunity, and we will be looking for you to submit your application and take advantage of this wonderful generosity that we're receiving from the Pikes Peak Community Foundation and the Pikes Peak Fund for the Arts. So thank you so much. Email if you have any questions, and don't forget that the deadline to apply is July 8th. For anyone who may be online now live, you're welcome to put some questions in the chat box, and we'll do our best to respond to them if there are any questions. Otherwise, I hope that you will really consider applying. It's not often that our community has sort of undesignated, no match required funding for these dollars to do creative programming in our community. So we hope we get a lot of interest from artists and arts organizations and for-profit arts businesses here in the Colorado Springs region. Let us know if you have any questions. If not, happy grant writing, and good luck to you all.